Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, April 10th. We have all you need to know about changes in flights at University Park Airport and updates on local criminal charges.
We also have updates on the controversial legislation pushing its way through the Kansas legislature, along with weather, sports, and entertainment. Stay tuned.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm AJ Sisson.
And I'm Anjelica Rubin.
University Park Airport is now feeling the effects of the aviation industry-wide shortage of pilots and crews. Beginning on June 5th, Delta Airlines will be suspending flights to and from University Park Airport. After the airline discontinued flights to and from Detroit, it has operated flights twice a day from UP Airport to LaGuardia Airport in New York since January. Delta is flying 15% fewer flights nationwide due to the shortages. Passengers with bookings through June 5th can expect to travel as planned, while those with departing or returning flights on June 6th will receive an email from Delta with more information.
A New York man is facing charges from a district judge for his alleged involvement in a scam to steal thousands of dollars from a state college senior citizen. An affidavit of probable cause from the case claims a woman reported a call Tuesday from a man who claimed her grandson needed $25,000 in legal fees. After another call seeking more money, the woman worked with state college police to set up a bait package. The man was apprehended and charged with a felony count of theft by deception. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for Wednesday.
A Center County resident is facing up to 6-month jail sentence after drunk crashing into the Port Matilda Borough building in March. Will Bracken pleaded guilty last Monday to a misdemeanor DUI charge and is scheduled to be sentenced on June 13th. The 33-year-old blew a .12 during police investigation. The crash occurred shortly after a borough council meeting adjourned when his truck caused substantial damage to the building's foundation. Bracken later admitted to investigators that he fell asleep moments before the crash. As for the building, repairs are expected to be completed by the end of July.
State police are currently investigating a fatality at the State Correctional Institution at Rockview. The Pennsylvania Department of Corrections report that an inmate was found unresponsive in his cell. Jamie Hausnack was transported to Mount Nittany Medical Center and died at the hospital early Thursday morning. It is the third inmate death in the last 5 weeks at the state prison in Benner Township. Sunny days and high temperatures seem to be here to stay this week in Happy Valley. Tyler Hughes with Campus Weather Service has more details on what to expect in tonight's weather report. Take a look.
From the students of Penn State Meteorology, here is your Penn State Campus Weather Service forecast.
I'm student meteorologist Tyler Hughes with your PSN forecast this evening. And hey, let's take a look at the Arboretum over the course of the day today. We had a beautiful sunrise, and check out that bug in the upper left-hand corner of your screen as well. Temperatures quickly rose from around freezing this morning to into the 60s by lunchtime. Notice not a cloud in the sky the entire day. And as a matter of fact, when we take a look at our 4-cam across the state, I can't see a cloud in any one of these 4 cameras. Here at home at Beaver Stadium, Altoona, Pittsburgh, and the capital city as well. It's been a beautiful day across the Commonwealth. Temperatures out there right now are in the mid to upper 60s, still in the 50s in Erie, but I think that'll change as we head into tomorrow. But this has certainly been above what we saw yesterday, and that trend will continue. 7 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago here in State College, 11 degrees warmer than it was in Bradford as well. Slow warming throughout the week, and that'll be the story in the 7-day. Notice in the almanac, today's normal high is only 57. We'll break that by far today. Today's normal low, right about 38, so we're right about normal there. Today's record, though, 83, so we're not even getting close to setting that. Notice sunrise and sunset, too. We get a few extra minutes of light every day this time of year. Like I said, things are above average. 64 degrees is 7 degrees above average for this time of year. Across much of the state, we're running just above average, and that trend will continue as we head into later this week. Folks, in the future weather, notice there's not much to notice at all. A few clouds make their way into the northern tier as we head into late this morning, and we dip things down into the high 30s in some locations. But once the sun comes up tomorrow morning, we're quickly back into the 50s and 60s. And tomorrow will look very much like today, look very much like Wednesday, look very much like the rest of the week, all the way through to Friday, really. And that's because of this. This is the upper air heights. This is one tool meteorologists use. Wind follows these lines from west to east, and generally where you see kind of this raise in the lines in the yellow and orange there, that indicates high pressure, fair weather, and warm temperatures as well. So as we head through Wednesday into Thursday and Friday, notice we keep that trend throughout the rest of the week with really not much to speak of in the weather department. So tonight, as I mentioned, we dip down into the mid to high 30s in most locations, mostly clear skies and calm winds. It'll be a bit chilly. Bundle up if you're heading out. But tomorrow, we break 70 in most locations. I think it'll be easier to break 70 the farther south and east we are in the state. We may remain in the 60s, especially in the far northwestern portion of the state. And hey, I want to give you one more thing before I go. This is our first look at the blue and white forecast for Saturday. Big spring practice game here at Penn State, Beaver Stadium. Notice temperatures are going to be great, folks. Highs in the upper 70s. I think we have a few clouds around, especially in the morning, and notice a chance of a scattered shower in the morning. I can't rule that out. All things considered, I think it'll look a lot like the setup was for last year's blue and white game. If you were out at the tailgates early, maybe 8 a.m. or so, you saw a scattered shower, but then later in the day, those clouds cleared out and we saw peaks of sun by kickoff. So I think that'll be a similar story for blue and white. When we take a look at the rest of the 7-day forecast, notice by Wednesday, we're in the mid 70s. Thursday, we break 80, and that trend continues through Friday. We have a chance of a morning shower on Saturday, and I think a chance of a shower on Sunday as well, but shouldn't be anything too widespread. For PSN, I'm student meteorologist Tyler Hughes.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Antonio Fondacaro with your sports update. Penn State baseball finished their 3-game series against Delaware State with a clean sweep. The Nittany Lions pushed to a 7-11 record, outscoring the Delaware State Hornets 31-7 over the course of the series. The first game of the series displayed an impressive pitching performance from Jaden Henline. In his second start of the season, Henline pitched for 6 innings and allowed only 2 runs, one of those being earned. Henline retired the final 11 batters to end his impressive start. In the final game of the series, Penn State relied on Daniel Outerkirk. Outerkirk would last 5 1/3 innings before the Penn State bats would force the 10-run rule. Penn State racked 15 hits, with Taven Kelly going 3 for 3 with 2 triples and a double, yielding 3 runs and 3 RBIs. The 8th-ranked men's lacrosse team triumphed 12-11 over the number 6th-ranked Johns Hopkins. The game started as a scoring fest, with Johns Hopkins opening the game shortly with a 4-0 lead. The Blue Jays would not be able to hold on to this lead for long as the Nittany Lions rallied, scoring 4 of their own. The scoring wasn't going to stop, with TJ Malone scoring 4 goals in his second 4-goal game this season. With an 11-10 lead favoring Johns Hopkins, Kevin Winkoff would send the game into overtime with a clutch game-tying goal with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in regulation. Winkoff would then go on to ice the game with another clutch goal with 52 seconds remaining in overtime. That was the Blue and White's seventh win, moving to 7-3 and remains undefeated at home. The Masters concluded last night, closing the first of the 4 major golf tournaments this year. Jon Rahm is the winner of this year's Masters tournament with an impressive 12 strokes under par. The Spanish golfer achieved his victory by closing with a 3 under 69 to pull away from Phil Mickelson and then leading Brooks Koepka. Jon Rahm's victory marks the 10th major tournament win for Spain. Rahm is also the 4th player from Spain to ever win the Masters. Jon Rahm's career is only beginning as the golfer recently went pro in 2016. The Masters win grants Rahm with his 2nd major championship victory, accompanying his 2021 U.S. Open Championship. That is all for your sports update. After the break, Gracie Eckerly has the latest updates from the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Baby Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So insane, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Gracie Eckerly with your entertainment update. The iconic downtown bagel shop, Bagel Crust, is expanding into a different food group, tacos. Bagel Crust, best known for its popular sandwiches like The Hangover, is now serving chicken, steak, and pork tacos, as well as quesadillas and cheesy tacos at its West Beaver Avenue location. These dishes will be served every day after 3 p.m., and Bagel Crust manager and owner Uriel Rezinke said, quote, has a part of culture of Mexico because his wife is from Mexico, and a lot of the employees are from Mexico as well, end quote. Prior to owning Bagel Crust, Rezinke also owned a Mexican-style restaurant. The Greek Cares and Penn State's It's On Us organization partnered with the Sigma Lambda Beta fraternity to host a sexual assault awareness event last week. The It's On Us president, Sabrina Delgado, says, quote, our whole goal is to build a community so that they feel supported, survivors feel supported, if they experience interpersonal violence, and especially to be a support system for the underrepresented students at Penn State, end quote. Greeks Care is a 6-week-long program that educates fraternity and sorority members on healthy relationships and sexual violence awareness. Pop singer Taylor Swift and longtime boyfriend Joe Alwyn have allegedly ended their 6-year relationship. The news came out Saturday evening from Entertainment Tonight and later by People magazine. The split was reportedly amicable and not dramatic as the relationship had, quote, run its course, end quote. Many fans were dubious of the news at first as Taylor had yet to confirm the rumors herself, and the breakup was rather out of the blue. Later, People News confirmed the details in an exclusive article saying that Joe didn't know Taylor outside of their intimate bubble and was having trouble with her mass amounts of fame. Their relationship ultimately ended due to their differences in personalities. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, interview anchor Marielle Reese will be speaking with Emily McGlynn, a general manager at Com Radio. Stay tuned.
Ready, mics? 3, 2, fade in on 2, mic and cue.
This is Nittany Talk.
I would say spring.
Slow down.
And he knew that. How do you say
I know.
She continues to hold her values and everything though. And I think that that's really important. So yeah, and self-care Saturday.
And you lose the walk secret.
Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome to Culture Central. My name is Jaden Stewart.
What's good, everybody? My name is Eric Pichardo, and we are your hosts,
creators,
and executive producers of Culture Central. Is this Whitney Houston?
We're doing things that have never been done before, so welcome to the family.
If you don't include human beings you cannot accurately model the way the climate has changed over the last 50 years.
And I don't know that we're ever going to be free of some sort of bug.
That the natural state of motion for something to be in is to remain in its current state of motion.
I've been lucky enough to discover various things out there. Pulsars, exoplanets, and some other phenomena that ended up being interesting.
Hi, I'm Johnson Gary with Asking Penn State.
With Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Asking Penn State, Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to Asking Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Marielle Reese, and with me tonight I have Emily McGlynn, a general manager at Com Radio. Emily, thank you so much for being here with me tonight.
Thank you for having me. Very excited.
I wanted to start off with just explaining what exactly is Com Radio.
So Com Radio is a premier student-run radio station associated with the Donald P. Belisario College of Communications. We're also funded by them as well. And we basically kind of do everything. We, so obviously we're a radio station. So we do talk shows, we do play-by-play for sports. We also have newscasts, DJ sets. But also on top of that, we do articles on the side. So we have people that are writing articles about sports, about arts and entertainment, about news, and we're just constantly trying to keep up with Penn State and Center County as a whole. And then also on top of that, we're also trying to dabble into the social media side of things. So recently we just had 2 arts and entertainment people go out and ask people who should not be invited to the Met Gala. And that was really fun and interesting.
That sounds really fun.
I did a video a couple months back asking people which love songs are the best for Valentine's Day, and that got a lot of traction and everything. So we kind of do a little bit of everything, but we mainly focus on the radio and audio side of things.
Sure. Yeah. And like, what is your role like as general manager? What does like look like? What's your day-to-day jobs?
Each day is different, which I personally like. I like that it's not a routinely cookie cutter kind of job role. So basically every week, this is a rough outline of what my week basically looks like. But every Monday is when I have all the meetings. I have meetings for about 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
But the reason it's that long is because I'm making sure that my management staff, but also on top of that, that each department is doing their job, but also it's running successfully. Because if it's not, then I'm not doing my job correctly, and making sure that everyone is achieving their goals and doing what they need to do. Because again, if they're not, then like I'm not doing my job and I'm not making sure that people are reaching their fullest potential for then me to go back to Dean Harden and say, hey, like we need X, Y, and Z. Could you do this for me?
Of course.
So I take a lot of pride in making sure that I have relationships with each of my management staff, and I go out and I meet as many people as possible. I mean, we have 300 people in Com Radio.
That's a big staff.
It's very large. So and I'm very grateful for that because we constantly have articles and talk shows and just constant content all the time. And then Tuesday through the rest of the week is always different. If there's, if the audio is not working in the studio, then I'm the person, or my other 2 general managers, Alex Rocco and Dylan Price. If I can't be there, then those 2 people can be there and help out and make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's just different every day. But I love the what's the word I'm looking for? The spontaneity of it all.
Yeah, it sounds like a well-oiled machine at this point, right?
Thanks.
So then, with the Com Radio, so are there different sections? Like, are there certain people who only write articles or only film videos, or is there like crossover between the sections? Like, exactly what's that process about?
So what's so great about Com Radio is that you can basically do whatever you want. Com Radio, I believe, is the only organization here in the College of Com that allows you to get started right away, get in front of the mic right away, be writing articles and getting credentials to these things right away. We have 8 departments. So we have sports, news, arts and entertainment, production, social media, the editing department, and I believe I'm probably, we have ad sales. We're all over the board. So whatever you want to get involved in, you can get involved in.
Sure.
For example, I started out here at Penn State in the arts and entertainment department and the news department, and I have now expanded myself to the social media department, production, and funny enough, sports. I'm not a huge sports person, but I love to produce. So I've been producing for sports broadcasts and doing what I can to get myself involved and also just to meet more people. I think that's a big part of this industry is networking and getting to know people. So we do basically everything you can do, everything is on your own schedule, and whatever goals people have, they can be achieved in comm radio.
I think that's so great that you it's a unique experience for every single member. I feel like, so I have to ask, do you have a favorite like topic or section that comm radio like has in there? You know, you said there's like 8 different sections. Like, do you have a personal favorite?
Biasly, I love the arts and entertainment department. So when I was a freshman, it was during the pandemic, and so I was locked up in my dorm all the time, and I had nothing to do except to pay attention to pop culture and write about it. And I loved doing that. And I found some of my greatest friends through the department. And after my freshman year, sophomore year rolled around, and I got hired to be the arts and entertainment director with one of my good friends. And we just had so much fun creating content and getting to know people and expanding the department, because it used to be very small. It was only like 15 or 20 people. And I can proudly say that we expanded that to around 65 people. So I absolutely love it. And we're trying to find new ways to expand it each and every day. But I also have tackled the news department recently. I love going out and finding the latest news and having the latest scoop on everything that's going on. So I just love it.
And would you say that you prefer that it's more like comm radio is leaning more towards the radio/audio spectrum, or do you prefer the writing spectrum or like the video? Like what do you think is your favorite medium out of all of those?
I think they all kind of collaborate with each other a little bit. I would definitely say that writing has helped me on air, which that doesn't really make any sense, but I think being able to be comfortable with my vocabulary and how I talk and what I like to talk about has forced me to reflect on what I like and what I don't like, what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, and finding certain aspects that I need to work on. So then when I do go on air, I sound eloquent and I'm not stumbling over my words like I just was, but definitely working behind the scenes and working at your computer and really focusing on how you're supposed to sound. And then later on, when you go on air, you sound perfect.
Definitely. And are there any like stories you could tell me now that you have been wanting to cover, or that, you know, anything you're really excited about, maybe even for like next semester or to finish off this semester, anything you're excited about doing with comm radio?
So currently right now we're trying to reconstruct the news department. We're really solid with our newscasts. We have 5 daily newscasts, and we have a staffed group of people that are on each newscast. And we sound really good on air, but we're not doing our own original things, which I think is something that we can definitely work on. So right now we're trying to reach out to different politicians and boroughs and getting in contact with the police departments, but also with University Park, creating a better relationship with the college, not just for Belisario, but for the other colleges as well. So we're giving due diligence to all the people and putting people's stories out there.
That sounds amazing. And I'm sure so many people are going to want to join comm. I know I do now. So thank you so much for coming in. Up next, AJ and Angelica will bring you the latest news from across the nation. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisario Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, here with Baby Harold.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
And a move that has only been seen a handful of times since the Civil War, Tennessee Republicans expelled 2 Democratic lawmakers from the state legislature on Thursday. The votes come in the wake of protests for more gun control after a deadly school shooting in Nashville just last week. Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were expelled, while Representative Gloria Johnson was spared by 1 vote. GOP leaders say Thursday's actions were necessary to avoid setting a precedent of using protests to disrupt House proceedings. Jones and Pearson pledged at an evening rally to return to the Capitol this week, advocating for change on gun laws.
Abortion opponents are currently pushing a bill through the Kansas legislature that requires providers to tell patients that a medication abortion can be reversed once it's started. The bill could face a state court challenge if its supporters can overcome the governor's expected veto. The votes for the final version of the bill were 80-38 in the House and 26-11 in the Senate. Kansas has been an outlier on abortion among states with GOP-controlled legislatures, despite the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in June 2022. In both chambers, abortion opponents were short of the 2/3 majority needed to override a veto.
Also in the Kansas legislature, lawmakers are moving forward with their plan to end gender-affirming care for transgender youth in their state. The Kansas House voted 70-52 to pass a bill that would revoke the license of doctors who provide gender-affirming care to minors. The state Senate then voted 23-12 to approve the bill. However, Democratic Governor Laura Kelly is expected to veto this bill. She stated that she would protect youth transgender rights and reject those that would try to discriminate them. This vote comes in a flurry of efforts to roll back LGBTQ rights in Kansas this week, after banning transgender female athletes from girls' and women's sports, as well as changing their gender on their driver's licenses.
Despite the legislation being enacted in states like Kansas, the Biden administration is proposing a change to Title IX. This change would prohibit sex-based discrimination in federally funded education programs. The proposal would make it illegal for schools to ban transgender students from sports teams that align with their gender identity. The Education Department says the proposal still gives schools some flexibility to ban transgender athletes depending on age and sport. The proposal will undergo a lengthy approval, and schools and students will not see the rule changed or enacted for months. And that concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.